Hi Matt, thanks for helping me so far with the AirTurn Quad 200 and sending the MIDI messages for the sustain pedal. I'm still having a little bit of trouble, not sure what is the issue, so I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown of what I've tested and what I've observed so far. Pardon the Australian accent as well, as I mentioned before, I'm from Australia. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm using a program called MIDI Tools, which is able to send MIDI messages through USB to my AX synth. So my AX synth is, I got it modded so that the outside looks a little bit more flashy. It's got the flame maple top on it. And yeah, when you play it, I've got it hooked up to my speaker over there. It's connected through USB at the moment, and that USB allows me to essentially use this program to send MIDI messages to the synth. So the good thing about this is that I can select specific channels. So I'm going to use channel 64 here to bring it up to 127, which is, and 64 is usually used for the sustain pedal, or what's known as the damper pedal in your software. So if you listen, when I play it and it's now 167, the sustain is working, so I know the message is actually being sent properly. Now when I turn it off, the sustain doesn't work anymore, which is what it's supposed to do. So you can see here it's very short. Now the issue is now with I'm going to disconnect the USB, and then what I'm going to do now is actually just show you what's set up on my quad. So my quad currently has got four pedals set up. So I've got the first one just set up as sending a note number 60, which is C4 with velocity 98. That is just essentially just a test to make sure that the messages are getting sent through properly. On number 2, I've got the mod wheel, and that's been set at 127. Number 3, I've got it set as the portamento on channel 1, and number 4, I've got it set as the CC64, which is the damper pedal through channel 1. So that's what's currently being saved to my AirTurn Quad 200. So what I'm going to do is disconnect from the AirPod from the quad from my from my phone, and then I'm going to plug in my wireless the WIDI connector to the back of my synth, my AX synth. So when I play, the synth obviously still works, and just to test, when I press this first pedal, it should have C60 at 98 velocity, and that works properly. So notice every time I press it, it works properly. The second button is essentially for, as I said before, is for the mod wheel. So if I play a note, like, and then hold this, you can hear the mod effect happening. So that's working properly. Then the next one was a portamento, basically. I'm gonna have to use my foot just as an example. If I hold that down and I go, the portamento is working properly. The interesting thing is, for some reason, the sustain effect just does not work. And I've set it so that it is sending through channel 64, so CC message 64 through channel 1. And I know for sure that it's supposed to be 64 because I've used that MIDI tools program and it works properly with the synth. I just cannot get the sustain pedal effect working. And the interesting thing is that's the main reason why I wanted this set up in the first place, because the sustain pedal is something I wanted to be able to do while essentially being able to be moving around and not be tethered to a cable. Do you know what might be the cause of this issue and how I could possibly fix it? Again, thanks for your time.